From cruising in a humble $500 beater to flexing jaw-dropping million-dollar masterpieces, Snoop Dogg's love for lowriders runs deep. He doesn't just drive, he glides through the streets in some of the most outrageous custom-built rides on the planet. With chrome gleaming, paint jobs that pop, and hydraulics that dance, Snoop's lowrider collection is a rolling tribute to style, swagger, and West Coast culture. Like wild rides and hip-hop legends? Hit that subscribe button. This is the garage tour you don't want to miss. Want to see the wildest lowrides Snoop's ever owned? Buckle up, we're about to take a ride through his craziest car collection yet. First up is a humble yet sentimental purchase. A dilapidated school bus Snoop acquired in 2004 for just $500. This wasn't a lowrider or a car for cruising the streets of Los Angeles, but a heartfelt project for the Rowland Heights Raiders, a youthful football team he coached in LA. Snoop, always one to give back to his community, wanted his players to travel in style. He handed the bus over to his trusted car customizer, Big Slice, who transformed it into a rolling masterpiece. Painted in the Oakland Raiders silver and black, the bus was decked out with 27 video screens, 70 speakers, 2 DVD players, a VHS player, and a $90,000 stereo system. An Xbox was included for the game's MVP to play on the ride home, and naturally, a large mural of Snoop throwing a football adorned the side. This bus, though inexpensive to purchase, became priceless in its cultural and personal significance, embodying Snoop's commitment to his community and his flair for over-the-top customization. If that's not the ultimate team bus, drop a fire emoji in the comments. The next ride came with a price tag more than double the last, but it carried even more soul. Enter the 1966 Pontiac Parisienne, a yellow and purple Lakers edition lowrider that looks like it rolled straight out of a die-hard fan's dream. In 2016, when Kobe Bryant retired from the NBA, Snoop decided to gift him this beautiful tribute to his legendary career. The ride stood out as a true icon in his collection. The hood featured lifelike airbrushed portraits of Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and of course, the Black Mamba himself. But front and center, slightly larger than the rest and fully leaning into the moment, was Snoop Dogg, rocking a Lakers jersey with a Superman emblem. Subtle? Not even close. But that's what made it unforgettable. Lakers fans, show love and hit that like button. The hydraulic system tucked into the trunk allowed the car to bounce and glide like a proper lowrider. And while exact numbers are hard to pin down, the customization alone easily pushed its value up several notches. This wasn't a car Snoop drove every day, it was just a piece to show his love for the Lakers. And the gesture said everything about how much Kobe meant to him. Now let's jump to something that barely looks like a car at all. The 2015 Polaris Slingshot, affectionately known in Snoop's circle as the Batman. This cheeky little car is a far cry from your average Reliant Robin. It's nippy, lively, and fun, and at $26,000 is a fair degree cheaper than most of Snoop's rides. It definitely wasn't the most expensive machine in his collection, but one of the flashiest. It is a roadster with no roof, no doors, and the attitude of a comic book vigilante. Snoop had it painted in chrome blue with flickering purple and blue LED dashboards that looked like the inside of a spaceship or a club, depending on the day. The Slingshot isn't about practicality, it's about vibes. Powered by a 2.4-litre inline-4 GM Ecotec engine, this little beast has 173 horsepower and weighs under 1,800 pounds. That's more than enough when you're trying to turn heads on Hollywood Boulevard. It has side-by-side bucket seats, a tilt-adjustable steering wheel, and the kind of quirky design that makes people stop in their tracks. Snoop picked this one up during a phase when he was stepping away from tradition, moving beyond Impalas and Cadillacs and into weirder, wilder territory. The Batmobile, he called it. You could almost hear him say it with his signature grin. If you're into futuristic rides, comment Batmobile vibes. Next up, Snoop Dogg shelled out around $30,000 for one of his earliest rides, a 1970s Pontiac Catalina. And yeah, it was a clunker by modern standards. But back then, this car was a throne on wheels. It was all Snoop could afford in his Long Beach grind era. Just a young Calvin Brodus trying to make moves, puffing on dreams as much as blunts. He needed something that moved. And when you're coming up from the bottom, a car like that means freedom, even if it groans every time you hit the gas. This was way before the fame, before the doggy-style debut, when just having a working engine felt like a win. Shout out to the hustlers. Drop OG grind if you remember Snoop before the fame. This next car costs a little more than that. Still a modest ride in the world of celebrity garages. The 2008 Dodge Challenger SRT8 marked a real turning point. Purchased for about $44,000, this bright orange beast was more than just a flashy toy. It was a celebration of American muscle and modern grit. Dodge actually invited Snoop to test drive the car, and it didn't take much convincing. One burnout and he was hooked. Customized by his go-to guy Big Slice, the Challenger was all swagger. A 6.4-litre supercharged Hemi V8 under the hood, 470 horsepower roaring, and a 0-60 that happens in just 4.5 seconds. It's raw power wrapped in nostalgic cool. The snorkel hood scoops, the muscle-thick padded seats, it just showed West Coast royalty. Snoop was in his Chrysler spokesperson era, blending brand deals and bars, and this car was proof that he hadn't lost touch with the streets. Muscle car fans, is this your pick from the list? Let us know below. Then came a shift, not in vibe, but in vision, with a price tag nearly 3 times higher. Snoop scooped up the 2021 Cadillac Escalade, a $100,000 SUV that's just as much about comfort as it is about making an entrance. The Escalade is the grown-up ride, blacked out, fully loaded, and absolutely massive. Under the hood is a 6.2-litre V8, delivering 420 horsepower and 460 pound-per-feet of torque. Fast enough, but that's not what shines. It's what's inside that counts. Custom interiors tailored for luxury and long hauls. Snoop was even spotted behind the wheel after the premiere of his Star series, cruising with his family like a hip-hop Clark Griswold. If you're still riding with us, go ahead and hit that subscribe. We've got more insane rides coming up. Next is the 2017 Tesla Model X, which Snoop picked up for around $119,000. Snoop went electric, and of course, he did it with style. This all-white spaceship with its falcon wing doors was a major pivot from his usual gas-guzzling fleet. The dual motor setup pumps out around 670 horsepower, launching the SUV from 0-60 in just 3.8 seconds. It's not just fast, it's silent, sleek, and sustainable. The inside is cool with black leather seats, ashwood trims, and a massive touchscreen that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. Snoop announced it with a tweet, classic 2017 behavior, and proved that even an OG can evolve with the times. Still, don't get it twisted, he customized it like only he can, with matte black onyx wheels and enough flair to remind you who's behind the wheel. Into EVs with attitude? Comment Snoop Future Mode. Now let's rewind the clock. The 1968 Buick Riviera, one of Snoop's crown jewels, cost about $150,000 after Big Slice worked his magic. This isn't just a car, it's a rolling portrait of Snoop's life. Featured in the Bartow music video, the hood is adorned with a custom decal of Snoop with his wife and newborn daughter, under the words, "Me and my girls," and "Dog's Angels." It's bold, sentimental, and deeply personal, like if a lowrider had feelings. This Riviera is powered by a 7-litre V8, pushing 360 horsepower and 475 pounds-per-feet of torque, with a top speed of 125 miles per hour. It's not built for racing, it's built for cruising through Long Beach on a Sunday, with the bass thumping and the hydraulics bouncing. The silver paint glimmers like an old-school soul, and everything about this car is just classic Snoop. This one's got soul. If it's your favorite so far, hit that bell and keep cruising with us. Not so far behind is the 1968 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. The price tag sits at around $200,000, and every penny of that went into turning a classic into a time-traveling art piece. This one is drenched in nostalgia. It's a lowrider to the bone, with white-on-white paint, Snoop's initials carved onto the hood, and a soul that's pure West Coast. The engine's a 7.7-litre V8 beast, putting out 375 horsepower and 525 pounds-per-feet of torque. Big Slice hooked up the interior with padded seats, see-through panels, and chrome wheels. It's the kind of car you might have seen in Still DRE, or some old-school death row video. This one didn't just sit in the garage, it was part of the era. It rode with Snoop through the early 2000s when he was solidifying his status not just as a rapper, but as a full-blown cultural architect. What old-school track would you play in this ride? Drop your soundtrack suggestion. And then, like taking a sharp turn into the Italian Riviera, there's the 2009 Ferrari 458 Italia. When Snoop copped this one for $257,000, it was a statement. Not just a whip, but a flex. A cherry red blur of speed and elegance that roars to life with a 4.5-litre naturally aspirated V8 pumping out 562 horsepower. It rockets from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, topping out at a jaw-dropping 202 miles per hour. But Snoop didn't just park this in a garage and call it a day. He tricked it out with glossy black details, tinted windows, and custom lighting to make sure no one could ever confuse it for someone else's. He copped this Ferrari during a time when his influence wasn't just national, it was global. Europe, Asia, everywhere. Snoop's reach was stretching across continents. Is this your dream car? Drop a race car in the comments if you'd take this over anything else in the garage. Now we're entering the truly ridiculous end of Snoop's garage, starting with the 1967 Cadillac DeVille lowrider known as Brown Sugar. Now, this isn't just any old 67 Caddy. This one's a full-on moving tribute, custom painted in a rich chocolate hue with graphics of Snoop and his sons, chandeliers over the backseat like it's a rolling VIP lounge, and Snoop Dogg blasted loud and proud across the front. You don't whisper when you pull up in this thing, you announce. It cost Snoop somewhere in the $300,000 range after Big Slice got his hands on it. Yes, Big Slice, the 6'6", 295-pound ex-hustler turned car customizing icon who's responsible for most of the magic in Snoop's fleet. This car even landed in the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit. If this ride belongs in a museum, it's 'cause it literally is. Hit that like if you'd cruise this to a car show. And we're not done with the Brown Sugar saga yet. This next one cost more than double the average American's salary just in modifications. We're talking about the other Brown Sugar, the 1974 Cadillac Snoop DeVille lowrider. And yes, Snoop gave two different Cadillacs the same name. Why? Because when you're Snoop, you don't follow the rules. You write them. This one was also transformed by Big Slice in 2001, and it's a mechanical beast under all that flash. It's got a 7.7-litre V8, 340 horsepower under the hood, and 501 pounds-per-feet of torque. That kind of power gives this brown metallic lowrider real street bite. But the real magic's in the details. Wire wheels, full hydraulics, extra dark tints, and a trunk mural that shows Snoop in a Godfather pose. Because of course it does. And just to show how deep its cultural roots run, a remote-controlled replica of this exact car was sold in stores like Walmart. That's not just a car, that's a brand synergy. Which would you roll in, the classic or the street legend? Drop 67 or 74 in the chat. From low and slow, we now jump to street muscle with the 2011 Ford Mustang GT Funkmaster Flex Edition. This is where Snoop steps out of Big Slice's garage and into Funkmaster Flex's lab. Ford got clever and teamed up with Flex to reimagine a Mustang specifically for Snoop. The result is something that looks like it should be in a Fast and Furious movie, but with Snoop's name sliding across the windshield like a banner ad for swagger. The metallic blue paint is sharp enough to cut through traffic, and the custom Birtwell taillights and 3D carbon body kit give it a menacing edge. Under the hood, this thing launches from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, the same speed as Brown Sugar, but a completely different flavor of cool. If you're feeling this one, tag a friend who needs to see it. Next up, it's only right Snoop rolls in something that oozes luxury. The 2017 Rolls-Royce Ghost. Sleek black paint with polished chrome accents, a V12 twin-turbo under the hood, and an interior that looks like a billionaire's smoking lounge. The Ghost cost Snoop around $343,000 when he bought it, and it's everything you'd expect from a man who's made the transition from Death Row Records to Martha Stewart's favorite guest. Ghost or muscle? Which Snoop are you riding with? Drop your pick in the comments. But even the Ghost has to bow down to the king of the collection, a car so expensive it could buy most people's entire neighborhood. This is the big finale, the showstopper, the crown jewel, Snoop Dogg's custom Versace Lamborghini Aventador. This one didn't just break the bank, it stomped on it in 6-inch Versace boots. Coming in at a massive $3.2 million, this is the car that peaks. The Aventador was first spotted by 50 Cent, but Snoop got it. Under the hood, it packs a beastly 6.5-litre V12 engine that launches it from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. We're deep in supercar territory now. But this isn't just about speed. The ride is draped in a bold, electric blue finish, sleek as a bullet and just as deadly, with golden Versace detailing that screams luxury and excess. It might look over the top, even by Snoop Dogg standards, but somehow it fits him like a custom-tailored suit. Flashy, fearless, and unmistakably Snoop. Which car takes the crown? Drop your pick in the comments. From buses to Bugattis, you've just cruised through hip-hop history. If you want more rides, more legends, and more heat, you know what to do. Subscribe and keep rolling with us.